Hello, and welcome back to ELI University. My name is Danny, and today we're going to talk about corridors. In previous videos, we designed an alignment and a profile, both existing and proposed, and then we designed an assembly to run along that alignment and profile. In this video, we're going to combine the three into a corridor. So the first thing we want to do is go up to our Home tab, Create Design Panel, Corridor, select Corridor. It's going to ask you for a name. We're going to put in EX Lake Road East because that's the name of our alignment. Corridor style, we can set as ELI corridor. Code set style basic is fine. Corridor layer, don't worry about. Over here on the right-hand side, we want to select our alignment first, so we're going to click this green box here. It's going to ask you down in the command line to select an alignment and press enter to continue. So we're going to pick our alignment, proposed Lake Road East, enter to continue. It's going to realize that there's a profile for that alignment, so we don't need to select the profile. And then we choose our assembly here. We created Lake Road East. We're going to select that. Target surface down here in the lower left-hand corner is very important because that's going to be what the corridor cut fill lines tie out to. That's how it's going to create the daylighting for us. So for target surface, we want to click that and select our existing topo, and we're going to click OK. It's going to bring up the baseline and region parameters menu. Right now, we shouldn't need to do anything in here. The only thing you might want to do if you have a lot of curves in your corridor, in your alignment, you can set the frequency to a lower number, which means it's going to sample in a tighter increment. So right now, we're going to get a sample line every 25 feet based on what the default is. We can set this down to something like 10 or 15. If you click the ellipses here, it's going to bring up the frequency to apply assemblies. You can change the frequency along the tangents, the curve increment, along spirals, along vertical curves. There's a whole bunch of options in here. Right now, because this is relatively straight, we can keep the 25s down the line. We're going to click OK here. And then in our baseline and region parameters, we're going to click Apply. It's going to ask us if we want to rebuild the corridor. We click always perform my current choice, rebuild the corridor, and then we're going to click OK. So what you'll see is your corridor feature and all of the grading tie-outs. Now, what you're not going to see is contours immediately because we haven't turned those on yet. So we're going to select our corridor surface, and over in our tool space, we're going to expand corridors. We're going to right-click EX Lake Road East and go to Properties. And in our corridor properties window, what we want to do is we want to find where it's going to allow us to add a top surface. So right now the corridor is built and it is being read as a surface, but it's not displaying it yet because we haven't told Civil 3D which part of the corridor to show us. So the Surfaces tab, we're going to click this first button here on the left, create a corridor surface. It's going to add that corridor surface name down here. And then we want to specify the code based on the assembly. Because we designed our assembly with only essentially one layer, it has a top and a bottom of the pavement, we can specify the top code, and that'll give us the actual contours at the top of the road, at the surface of the road grade. So we click the green button here because we want to add our top code. It's going to add it down here. We click apply, we click OK, and now we have contours in here. There is a boundary that's run along the outside of the grading, but a lot of times it's not going to be perfectly accurate. So you'll notice that these contours here are tying out in an odd way. That's okay. You can typically go back and either trim those out of the corridor or recreate the boundary around the corridor. So that's our road corridor. If we were to go up to where it says 2D wireframe in our viewport and click on that, we can set it to realistic, and then we can look at the corridor from a bird's eye view, and we'll actually see our existing surface as a solid object and the corridor we just dropped in. So there's our road right there. It is cutting into the existing a little bit here. You'll notice because it's dipping down and we can't see it, it's raised up over here. It's grading out at 3:1. Let's change our view back to 2D wireframe by clicking realistic and selecting 2D wireframe. Corridor is in, surface is in. Let's say we wanted to change the tie out grades. Let's say we didn't like how far out it was tying out. It was exceeding the limits of disturbance. We need to tighten up our grading. If we select our assembly and we go to the assembly properties and we go to the construction tab and we go to our right side basic side slope cut ditch, and let's say we change the cut slope to 1:1 and the fill slope to 2:1, which is probably not going to fly, but for the purpose of showing how quick this is to edit, we're going to change it to these wild numbers. So we did that for the right side. Let's go to the left side, basic side slope cut ditch. Change the cut slope to 1:1, change the fill slope to 2:1. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click OK. And you're going to notice over in your tool space, it's going to let you know that your corridor is now out of date. That yellow triangle means that we need to rebuild it. So if we pan back up to our corridor, you see all these contours on the outside here where it's filling. If we right click EX Lake Road East and go to rebuild, it pulled all of that fill in much tighter than it was before. It was set to 4:1 before. We pulled it down to 2:1. So those side slopes are now much steeper. If we were to change the profile, the corridor would automatically update. Right now, we don't have the corridor set to automatically rebuild. But if I were to grab the proposed grade profile and pull it up, you'll notice you get the warning symbol over here. It's telling you that something that is being used to build the corridor has changed, and it's just alerting us to that. To bypass that, we can right-click on EX Lake Road East and set it to rebuild automatic. What that'll do is anytime we change anything on the profile, on the alignment, on the assembly, it will automatically update the corridor. So that's it for that. Let's build one from scratch. Let's go back through all the steps quickly. We have this access road alignment here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a profile of it. So we're going to go to Home tab, Profile, Create Surface Profile, select our alignment, Access Road A. We don't want to use the EX Lake Road East surface because that's the corridor surface. We haven't renamed it yet, so be aware of that if you have not renamed your corridor. We want to select EX Topo. We want to click Add, Draw in Profile View. We're going to step through this. The alignment name is Access Road A. Profile view name, we need to change that to Access Road A. We're going to click Next. Automatic station range is fine. Click Next. User specified profile view height. Let's change these numbers. Let's make it 560 to 600. Turn off split profile view because we don't need it. Click Next. Everything here is probably just fine. Click Next. We're going to click Create Profile View, and we're going to drop it down here at the bottom. So there's our alignment running along the existing topo. So you'll notice where the alignment starts is actually up a lot higher. So we're going to have to build a proposed profile to make up for this huge gap here. So we're going to go back to Profile, Profile Creation Tools. We're going to select our grid. We're going to give our profile a name, Access Road A. Profile style is ELI Proposed Design Profile. All labels is fine. We're going to click OK. Profile Layout Tools menu. We're going to click the first drop-down arrow here and check our curve settings. Crest curves 150, sag curves 150. That's probably fine. We're going to click OK. We're going to click the drop-down arrow again, draw tangents with curves, and then we're just going to start setting some points in here. Let's say we're going to fill all that in. Drop it down to there. Right click. Profile is created. So now we have a proposed profile that we can use to build the access road corridor. The only thing we're going to need now is a different assembly because we don't want curb and gutter, we don't want shoulder. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this assembly over to the side. This is going to be our access road assembly. We're going to select the baseline and go to Assembly Properties. We're going to rename it Access Road A. We're going to click Apply. We're going to click OK. We're going to grab the shoulder and erase it. We're going to grab the curb and gutter and erase it. Same thing on the other side. And you notice the assembly is actually realizing that those points are no longer available. So it's pulling our cut slope and fill slope in to meet the pavement. Let's select our baseline again and go back to Assembly Properties. Let's go to the Construction tab. Let's change our lane width. Right now it's 12.5 on the left and 12.5 on the right. Let's make it 7.5 on the right and 7.5 on the left. Click Apply, click OK. Our assembly is updated. We're ready to build another corridor now. We have our alignment, we have our proposed grade profile, and we have our assembly ready to go. So here we go. Home tab, corridor, gonna give it a name, Access Road A. Gonna select our alignment, Access Road A, right click. It already selected the profile for us because that profile is tied to that alignment. We're gonna select our assembly, which is going to be access road A. Going to set our target surface as EX topo, and we're going to click OK. We're not going to change the frequency of anything. Actually, you know what? Let's change the frequency. Along a tangents, let's say 5, curve increment 5, along spirals 5. I don't believe we have any spirals. Along vertical curves 5, we're going to click OK. This is going to be a much more detailed corridor. It's going to be much tighter. We're going to click apply. We're going to click OK. Our corridor is in. Now we need to build the surface for it. So we're going to select the corridor. Going to go to corridor properties in the corridor access road A menu that comes up. Going to go to our surfaces tab. We're going to click this first button here, create a corridor surface. We're going to specify the code as top. We're going to click the green plus sign. We're going to click apply. We're going to click OK. And now we have our corridor. We have our corridor surface. Let's change this a little bit. Let's say we need to actually lift this up here. Let's lift it up high. Let's set our access road to rebuild automatic. Let's do something wild so we can see it change. I'm going to grab this curve here, and I'm going to pull this curve way up. Everything is connected together. If the alignment changes, the profile will follow the alignment. If the profile changes, the corridor will follow the profile. If the assembly changes, everything will follow the assembly. So this is very dynamic. In the past, it used to be a one-way street. You would design your alignment, then you would design your profile, then you would design your assembly. And after you ran your corridor, there was no way to step backward to make a small adjustment. You would have to erase everything and start from scratch. So this is the power of Civil 3D. Super dynamic ability. We're not going to get into intersections right now. They're a little bit more complicated. For what we need to, for corridors, this will get you far enough. Another thing you could do, because we know that this access road isn't going to meet up at the center line of the road, we can select that corridor. We can pull it right to the edge of the curve, the back of curve if we want to. So that's it. Alignment first, then profile, then assembly, then build your corridor. Super easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next one.